Thank you, Maharaj. Now is the time for the much awaited convocation address, which will be delivered by the guest in chief of today's ceremony, Professor Gautam R. Deshiraju. I realize that Professor Deshiraju does not need any introduction. However, since it is customary to introduce the distinguished speaker to the audience on such occasions, I'll try to recall some of his accomplishments. Professor Gautam R. Deshiraju is an Indian chemist and educationist who has contributed substantially to the areas of crystal engineering and weak hydrogen bonding. He has authored several books on these subjects between 1989 and 1999. He is one of the most highly cited Indian scientists and has been recognized by awards such as the Alexander von Humboldt Prize in the year 2000, the ISA Medal for Science 2018 of the University of Bologna, and the TWA's Prize in Chemistry. He served as the president of the International Union of Crystallography for the triennium 2011 to 2014. He has been conferred the first R.E. Veguru Award of Karnataka University, Dharwad in 2022. He is a member of the Indian Science 20 Secretariat in G20 India Presidency, year 2023. He is also the author of a book on the Constitution of India and governance structures titled Bharat India 2.0. Please join me in welcoming Professor Deshiraju for delivering the convocation address. Sir.
See, dear students, dignitaries on the dais, and friends. See, this afternoon is an occasion for giving and receiving gifts. The mantra in the Gayatri Upanishad, which we are going to be chanting shortly, states that gifts must be made gladly and willingly. Never give an unwilling gift. Let gifts be made according to one's fortune with modesty and fear. Modesty, fear. So you undertake upon gift giving with both modesty and with fear. It's a serious. Giving a gift is very serious. A giving of a gift gives much more pleasures than receiving a gift sometimes. Let there also be agreement in opinion or friendly feeling when the gifts are offered. This gift of Vidya, which is given to young people in our profession, is a gift that the teaching community does cheerfully, gladly, in modesty and in fear. We want our students to be better than us tomorrow. Because unless that happens, the country will not move forward. The next generation must be better than the previous generation. Now, you students who are receiving this gift also in turn must pass this gift onwards. And by that I don't strictly mean that all of you people should get into the teaching profession. No, far from it. In fact, I would hope that most of you do not get into the teaching profession. because there is a far bigger job also ahead. Swami Sarvalokanandaji said correctly that after 75 years, we have not made the kind of progress that we ought to have made. We have done many things. We have tried to do many things. I was introduced as the person who wrote a book on the Constitution, and I have addressed precisely this topic. Why are we not where we should have been by now? It is for you to start thinking about this. Why are we not there? The solution to this problem from your side is not to get a couple of nice degrees and then run away to America for the rest of your lives. That is not a solution. Swamiji went to America, he delivered the message. He did not stay there and said, now you give me a green card. Isn't it? And you are in a place where you are inspired by the teachings of Swamiji. So the thing is that you have to take this vidya that you have got, and in your endeavors, in any constructive field or activity, this jnanam, which actually hopefully will start becoming vijnanam, it should now communicate itself to the larger society around you. You people are very special people. You have been given a very high quality education. In the earlier discussions, before I came here, I was told that the number of people, young people who want to take up a general degree in sciences and liberal arts is falling. And I was told, in fact, that many of the youngsters in Bengal, and I dare say elsewhere, are simply not studying anything at all, but mostly going for some sort of very petty employment of some kind. Now, an observation like this, it is partly expected in a country which is as poor as what we are. And so the basic need for everyone is to earn enough money to at least not be hungry. This is definitely acknowledged. But what I am going to tell you is slightly different. By going for a proper education of the kind that you people are embarking upon, you will have the chance not only to secure a gainful employment, but also be a real part of, I think, the most important thing that is required today, and that is nation building. You people have this job of taking this thing that we call India and making it into Bharat. It is a tremendous job, but I am telling you, it's going to be a very enjoyable job. Because we have had a very, very unfortunate history. We have had deep fault lines in our society. We have had severe dose of what I may call coloniality, which has even changed the basic kind of a thinking of the people. Swamiji, in his very famous address in Madras, I think 1895 or 1896, he says, what has all this so-called British system of education done for you? It says, it produced some 50, half-baked people who consider themselves educated or something like that. Very sarcastic comment he has made. We haven't done much better than that even today, 120, 130 years later. A sort of very vague sort of thinking, not thinking also. And what you'll have to do is now, and what is happening now, I see, because I have seen students over 40 years, there is a gradual awareness and understanding among students. Finally, we are beginning to realize who we are. We did not realize this for the last 75 years. I suppose the relief of the British leaving was so great, even though it came with the anguish of partition. Somehow the fact that they were no longer here and they were going away, I think there must have been some sense of relief in the beginning. But we did not catch up properly, and maybe because we have not been thinking enough, thinking hard enough. Why are you people being educated like this? So that you can think. Here Swamiji is correct. You cannot take this education just for the purpose of getting an employment. It should come automatically. If your education is good, your employment will come automatically. Let me assure you about that. So very micro level calculations on what kind of job I have and where, it's not required. Because today there is a much more exciting thing for you all to do. Do you think your friends who have gone to America and lived there are having such a happy time? See, we are enjoying a beautiful weather of Calcutta now. Same thing if he is living in New York, he'll have to be shoveling snow in his house and getting a bad backache. We enjoy only our own place. You come to Calcutta in this time, you enjoy this sandesh with this Nalin Khajur at this time. Nalin, that brown one from the date palm. A very peculiar thing here. See, you cannot explain this to somebody in New York or Texas or some place like that. He will just, if you tell him all these things, he'll start crying, that's all. So you must be in your own milieu, I have seen and observed scientists from China, Japan, Germany, so many places. All these countries are doing well because these Chinese people are happy to be in China, Japanese people are happy to be in Japan. Whatever be the limitations, they have a feeling that they belong there. We belong here. If we don't, maybe we don't belong to India, but we belong to Bharat. This let there be no doubt. And the concept of Swamiji also. I will take up the topic of Hindus and Muslims in this country, which is a serious issue in Bengal and many other places. As I said, the sorrow of partition, which affected Bengal more than any other state. Just Punjab and Bengal are the two places that really suffered. But if you take Swamiji's concept of how to do things, how to manage education, he viewed Vedanta as a higher canopy, which would then accommodate different kinds of faiths. It is the duty of each and every one of us, Hindu and Muslim or Christian or whatever, to feel very happy that we are all Bharatiyas. It is this identity, this recognition that is gradually coming up now. And tomorrow, you people who have decided to go for a proper education, unlike, listening to some podcast or some Baijus or something, whatever they are doing these days, that is not education, it is nothing. Learning properly with the required sadhakam, and as Swamiji said, study hard, work hard, play hard, eat well. All these things are very, very, very important. You have to develop your personalities in a full possible way. Not just to do maths to score in the IIT joint entrance exam. That is not living even. That is called dying. That is not life. So don't get confused. And feel that you are part of a very, very noble enterprise. Not only are you all being educated properly, you are being educated. See, Vivekananda, he was a revolutionary, He was a man far ahead of his times. And unlike, most revolutionaries, if you think about them, they destroy anything that came before them. And then they say, okay, this is my new mantra, this is what I am going to give you guys. But Vivekananda was a very unusual revolutionary because his anchor was firmly in the old traditions, the Vedantic traditions of this country. From that platform, he was able to broadcast his revolutionary ideas. So that is a unique combination of this particular revolutionary. He is not an ordinary person. And what he said is now peculiarly appropriate to the India of Bharat of 2022. Because today is the day when exactly we have to do all these things that he said. When he said, education is not the amount of information that is stuffed into your brain. And then he says it remains undigested there all your life. So it is actually a kind of a useless thing. What you are learning in these coaching classes, in this Kota and all these places, Bardwan or wherever they have all these classes to get into IIT, that is that kind of stuffing facts into your head remaining undigested. Better to be ignorant than to have such facts in your head. I'll tell you frankly. So, take courage, take hope. Things are not going to be that bad. All the people on the dais and some of the people in the first rows, we have seen an older India. It was not a very nice India, let me be frank. I was born 5 years after independence, and I think on the whole, our generation messed it up. We tried to do something, but not enough. And that's what I call in my book India 1.0. So India 1.0 is over, forget about it. Don't think about it. You people are all part of India 2.0. You become part of India 2.0. You don't become part of USA 24.0. Okay? You are not required there. You are required here. And when you are here and when you are doing your things properly here, don't worry, you will be amply rewarded in ways that are both mundane as well as spiritual. You will get both kinds of enjoyment here through this wonderful thing called Vidya, which you have. The first step in receiving this today has happened. So through this wonderful thing called Vidya, you will see huge pastures ahead of you. And I am very confident, I am fully sure that none of you students who are getting your degrees today will be unworthy of this gift which is being given to you today which I hope you will take it in the spirit of the Taittiriya Upanishad, which you are going to chant, and take it forward in that way so that all of us can enjoy a more glorious and prosperous future. Thank you so much.